Hi, welcome to my channel. These days, manufacturers are making cars with big engines less and less often, trying to make them more environmentally friendly and lighter. We decided to take a look at the cars with the biggest engines in history. Today's automakers often make their internal combustion engine cars faster by introducing new technologies or adding an electric motor. This was far from always the case. Decades ago, to increase a car's performance, they often resorted to increasing its engine displacement. It was one of the easiest ways to get more power and torque. Sometimes the engine displacement exceeded 6 or even 8 liters. This is far from the limit of what the auto industry saw in the past. The Lamborghini Aventador with its incredible 6.5-liter atmospheric V12 engine, which produces 700 to 780 horsepower. It is able to accelerate from 0 to 100 km per hour just in 2.8 seconds and reach the top speed of 355 km per hour. Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow in 19th place with the L-Series engine, which first appeared in 1959 on the Silver Cloud II. It was a 6.2-liter, atmospheric engine. The engine lived an incredibly long life, and was modified many times. In 1968, the Rolls-Royce Phantom 6 debuted its first 6.75-liter engine. Later, the engine was supplemented with a turbocharger and noticeably lighter. It was last seen on the Bentley Mulsanne, which was produced from 2010 to 2020. Mercedes-Benz 450 SEL 6.9. Despite the numbers 6.9 in the name of this model, under the hood was a 6.8-liter V8 M100 engine. Each was subjected to rigorous bench testing before being installed in the car. The engine block was iron, but the cylinder heads were aluminum. Also interesting is the unusual for that time Bosch Cagetronic fuel injection, which helped the M100 to provide 290 horsepower. The rare British supercar used the same V12 engine as the iconic Jaguar E-Type. Its volume was increased up to 7 liters and significantly upgraded. Road cars develop 554 horsepower and 790 Newton-meters of torque. This allowed the supercar to accelerate to 100 km per hour in just 4.1 seconds. American muscle cars of the 60s and early 70s were astonishing with their huge engines. One of the striking representatives of this era is the Plymouth Barracuda, under the hood of which could be found a 7.2-liter V8 440 Super Commando. The engine produced 375 to 390 horsepower, which was one of the best in its class. Rumor had it that the performance was even higher, but Plymouth wanted to confuse the competition this way. One of the most impressive and expensive Aston Martin in history was equipped with a gigantic 7.3-liter V12 engine. The famous Cosworth Atelier took part in its development. The engine could boast of 760 horsepower and 750 Newton-meters of torque. This allowed the supercar to accelerate from 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.5 seconds and reach a speed of 350 km per hour. The fastest version of the Chevrolet Chevelle was equipped with a 7.4-liter V8 engine. It developed up to 450 horsepower, which was unbelievable by the standards of the late 1960s. It was one of the fastest American muscle cars ever made. It was capable of accelerating to 100 in less than 6 seconds. The fourth-generation Lincoln Continental was one of the most luxurious American cars of the early 1960s. It was quite heavy, so engineers decided to equip it with a gigantic 7.6-liter V8 engine, which produced 385 horsepower. This engine was not produced long and was soon replaced by a new 7.5-liter V8. It was more modern and lighter. The Rolls-Royce Phantom II was the pinnacle of luxury cars in the early 1930s. It had a 7.7-liter inline 6-cylinder engine producing 122 horsepower. The engine had an incredible smoothness to it. Also notable for those years was the cylinder head, made of aluminum. The Bugatti Veyron is an iconic hypercar of the mid-2000s, the first production car to break the 400 km per hour mark. Under the hood of the car there is an incredible 8.0-liter W16 engine with 4 turbines with a capacity from 1001 to 1200 horsepower, depending on the modification. The engine was created from scratch by Bugatti engineers. At the time of its release it was the most technologically advanced power unit in the world. The Chevrolet Suburban SUV was incredibly popular in the 1990s. There were many variations with different powertrains to choose from. The most impressive engine on the SUV was the 8.1-liter Vortec V8 with 340 horsepower. It was offered only in the heaviest versions 2500 HD and 3500 HD. The Cadillac Eldorado was nicknamed the City Cruiser because of its huge dimensions. This car was entitled to appropriate engines, the largest of which was an 8.2-liter V8. The engine produced 406 horsepower, which was transmitted to the rear wheels. In the 1970s, this power unit suffered badly because of the fuel crisis, so its output was reduced to a measly 193 horsepower. Dodge's huge V10 engine has a fascinating history. It was first created for the heaviest versions of the Ram pickup truck, until it was finalized for the Viper supercar. In 2004, Dodge released a sporty version of the Ram SRT-10 pickup, which inherited the already upgraded 8.3-liter V10 engine from the supercar. It produced an impressive 510 horsepower. First, the Dodge Viper was equipped with an upgraded 8.0-liter V10 engine from the Ram pickup. With each generation of the model its volume only increased. The supercar of the fifth generation received an 8.4-liter atmospheric V10 engine, which produced 640 horsepower. Racing versions could boast 690 horsepower. Before the appearance of the Veyron hypercar, Bugatti produced mostly ultra-luxury cars. They were notable for their gigantic size and beautiful design. One such car was the Bugatti Royale Type 41, which had a 12.7-liter inline 8-cylinder engine under the hood. It had 3 valves per cylinder and produced 300 horsepower. The Pierce Arrow Model 66 made it into the Guinness Book of World Records as the production car with the largest engine in the world. The model was produced in the USA from 1913 to 1918. The car was designed for wealthy buyers and offered a wealth of equipment for those years. It could seat up to 4 people and had a canvas roof. The 13.5-liter 6-cylinder engine, while impressive in size, was not that powerful. It produced only 140 horsepower, which was quite a lot for the 1910s. The Cadillac 16 was one of the most ambitious car projects of the early 2000s. The sedan had an impressive design and boasted advanced technology. The highlight of the concept was the 13.6-liter V16 engine. Its power was never made public, but it was rumored to have more than 1,000 horsepower. The Napier Railton was created for a 24-hour speed record of 241 km per hour on the Bonneville Salt Lakes in 1936. It was helped by the huge 23.9-liter Napier Lion aircraft engine. The most important problem in setting the record was the monstrous fuel consumption. For this purpose a 65-liter tank was located right behind the driver. The legendary car, which appeared on the covers of many car magazines in the 1970s, was created by craftsman John Dodd. He nicknamed his creation the Beast because of the huge engine under the incredibly long hood. The car was powered by a 27.0-liter Rolls-Royce Merlin aircraft engine that produced more than 1,000 horsepower. Dodd once said that he managed to get over 298 km per hour in the Beast. This car is now up for auction. The mileage of the Beast is only 17,200 kilometers. The impressive Fiat S75 record was nicknamed the Beast of Turin. It was built in 1910 for the speed record. The Fiat S75 record was powered by a huge 28.4-liter 4-cylinder engine with 290 horsepower and 2,712 Nm of torque. In 1913, the car was able to reach a speed of 213 km per hour, but could not repeat its result in the reverse direction. For this it was recognized as the fastest car in the world, but only unofficially. Thank you for watching, and subscribe so you don't miss any new videos.